friends. Welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and if you are new here, hey, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing, and if you are back, welcome back. Today I'm here to join you guys for a WIP and Chat. WIP stands for Work in Progress. Chat stands for Chat, so feel free to whip out your WIP and work alongside me. Today I'm going to be working on a diamond painting and just chatting with you guys a bit about what's been going on this past week. Everything from just things in crafty and content creating world to life updates and stuff like that. So hopefully I can keep you company with whatever you are up to today. I hope that whatever you're up to today, that you're having a wonderful day so far, and I'm looking forward to getting started on this kit with you guys. And by getting started, I mean continuing to work on this kit, because I have obviously already started it. Just to give you a quick rundown of what I will be working on and with today. This kit is titled Scorpio Dragon. It is from the shop The One with the Diamond Art. It's a new to me shop, and the first kit I am working on from them. I did purchase this kit myself. It wasn't sent to me or anything like that. The artist for this one is Parente Illustration, I believe, and it is legally licensed from the artist, just like all of the artwork from The One with the Diamond Art. I started on it a couple of days ago and have just gotten a little bit done. But I always try to work on these kits with you guys in WIP and Chats too. So as far as the accessories I'll be using, I have a couple of pens that fit the color scheme of this painting really, really well. This one is from Butterfly Effectwares. I think this was one of their, was it Sunset Blanks? But it matches the color shift, the color gradient in this dragon's wings like so incredibly perfectly. And then this is from Black Wolf Woodworks. I got this quite a while back, and this color shift, this is like the color of the night sky, and then like these colors are in the dragon's wings too. So I was like, I have the absolute perfect colors to use with this kit, or pen wise. So, and then tray wise, I have this one, which is from Munimate. It's one of the older versions of the trays. I'm not going to try and go through and replace all of the older versions with the newer versions by comparison, by the way, because I actually happen to have another one over here. So the one on the right, or here, let's do it this way because you can actually maybe see it. Yeah. So the one on the top is the older tray. The one on the bottom is the newer tray. The version 2.0 rather is the one on the bottom, and this is the original version. Both large. The newer ones have thicker walls. Just, are they even like maybe a tiny bit higher walls? I don't even know if they're that much higher. And you can see they cut back here so that drills are less likely to get stuck right there. And I think they improved a little bit of the lines maybe. I don't know. They both work perfectly to me, to be honest. The newer ones have a little bit more weight to them. But they both are amazing. So anyway, this is the one I'll be using today though. This is in one of the Magic Color Shift filaments. I think this one is Strawberry Banana. Is that the name of that one? But yeah, I thought this one matched the color scheme well. And then wax wise, I'm going to be using, this is from Sensible by Design. It's in the scent Fresh Cider. And I'm still kind of in the fall mood, so I have been using this some. And then from Annealer's Outpost, I'll be using this. This is Scented Putty. They call it, it's Chit. And this is the version 2. It's from a sample pack I got, and this one is Caramel Corn scented. So I actually already have my pen loaded up. I don't have to reload those, but that's what I will be using. And then, okay, let me explain the minders, because I know some of you are going to be side-eyeing this one, but I'll explain. Okay, so I'll be using this dragon minder with the stars that while the color scheme doesn't match, the theme totally does. This is from Agnes Little Minders, and this is handcrafted from polymer clay and is, I feel like, one of my treasures. I love it so much. And then this, okay, no, I normally keep my channel pretty darn clean. You see very, very little swearing. This is a reference. I promise this is a reference. If you happen to watch the show or be aware of the show just because of me talking about it nonstop, this is a reference from the show Supernatural. And this minder is from... Oh no, I have to go double check what shop this minder is from. Oh no, I'm blanking. Is it from Stitchy Little Things? You guys, I'm going to double check. I'm going to put it in the description box. Shoot, where did I get this from? Because I got multiple Supernatural theme minders at the same time. Stitchy Little Things, or there's another one that I'm completely blanking on. Okay, I will link it below. Take a look, please. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Please take a look, though. I'll link to all these accessories below. But I'm recording this on November 5th, which is a bit of a vague reference if you happen to be a Supernatural fan. And maybe I'll talk about that more later. It's really funny, though, because, like, you don't usually see, like, swearing on my channel, and I hope that I won't have totally, like, scared some of you guys away, because I should that. But just, like, this is a little counterintuitive for something you might expect to see from me. Supernatural is also a show that most people, I feel like, don't expect to hear me say that, oh, yeah, no, I love that show. Like, it's probably my favorite show, actually. But it's, like, my comfort food, really. So, anyway. Let's get this situated. Actually, that minder bottom isn't really going to fit, so we're just going to let this dragon kind of hang out and keep us company out there. Let's grab a color. I'm going to do all the colors besides this. Wow, that glare is kind of horrific. Sorry, you guys. It'll show up better when I'm placing diamonds, I promise. This is all one background color. It's all 310, but I'm going to fill in the rest of these colors first, and then you'll see me color block and fill in that 310, and hopefully, yeah, once there's drills down here, you won't see that glare. So, hope you guys are sticking with me today, because apparently I'm a little bit of a disaster over here. Anyway, so how are you doing today? I hope that you are having a wonderful Monday so far. I am filming this on Saturday evening, so a couple of nights in advance. Mainly because, you guys, because for the same reason that I'm actually working on this particular kit, which is that tomorrow's my birthday. I am being that person and mentioning it. But no, I wanted to keep tomorrow pretty open to just not film after the kids go to bed or anything like that. And Adam and I are going to try to go to downtown Disney. It's been a while since we've been to downtown Disney, but that's kind of why I wanted to go. Like, it's expensive to park there. It's expensive to do, it's expensive to do anything there. And we used to have annual passes like clockwork. I was like really an obnoxious Disney aficionado, and I still have lots of like love and affection for Disney, but like we cannot afford or justify like the annual passes, and we're not a fan, which are now called Magic Keys. We're not a fan of like how the whole system works at the moment. Hold on a second. I'm keeping an eye on my camera to make sure it's not going to keep fighting to focus. If my camera decides to continue having issues, I will make some adjustments, because I do not want this to be an obnoxious process for you guys. So I'm watching. Anyway, we haven't had passes for a while, and I just kind of wanted to go get like a little taste of Disney again. Since it's been a while since we've been, I'm like, okay, yeah, now I'm like ready to go back, and hopefully it'll be like fun and there will be some magic. We're not going to go into the parks, but we did get reservations at one of the restaurants in downtown Disney. One that we actually haven't been to before, because I never think to make reservations enough in advance. And I thought of it earlier this week, and I went and looked, and sure enough, there was a reservation available at Catal. Which I think they have like Mediterranean food, I think is what it said. But I'm really looking forward to that, and just kind of walking around. I kind of told Adam, like, maybe I'll just pick out my own birthday gift like while I'm there. Like maybe just going out will be enough of a birthday gift. Also, I am absolutely asking for, like in reality though, like I'm pretty sure I'm just asking for like my mom and Adam, my parents and Adam, to go in on Taylor Swift tickets for me for my birthday, since she announced her tour, and that's kind of been like a bucket list item of mine for a very long time. Currently blanking on whether or not I actually mentioned this here, if it was on my vlog for Patreon, but I think it must have been there, because I don't think that she had announced her tour when I was recording this, my WIP and Chat for last week. But yeah, she announced her tour, and I'm pretty shameless about like, here are the things that I like, and I don't really care if they're stereotypes or anything like that. And one of those things is Taylor Swift's music, and the fact that I love to see her on tour. the past tours that she's done, it hasn't really been like something that I've realistically been able to afford, and or it happened at a time that like I wasn't able to like get away and go. Like her last tour. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna fix the focusing situation. Hold on one second. Okay, let's try this again. So unfortunately, this is just one of several ways that I feel like the glue on this canvas has been causing headaches for me. It's kind of fitting that it's causing headaches for my ability to film too, but I'll talk more about that with this kit later. Just to finish my thought, like the last time Taylor was touring, I canceled her Lover tour, and then before that I was like mothering a newborn, and I was like, I can't, I was like nursing and stuff. I was like, I'm not going to be able to like leave for several hours to go to a concert. Like I would have to like take a pump, and it would have been like a whole thing. I was like, I'm just not doing that. Because the timing's never worked out, whether because of like where I was at in life or just because like money. And I'm like, I feel like this is something I could do this time, especially if it's like, hey, can this be my birthday gift? And like, hey, call it my Christmas gift. So I have definitely gotten to that point in my life where I'm like, I prioritize experiences over things. Like that's the kind of stuff that I would really like as far as like gifts and that kind of thing go, both like for myself and what I love giving to my kids for gifts. So anyway, that's kind of the plan for tomorrow. I'm hoping that Adam and I will be able to just like enjoy an evening at downtown Disney. It's not too hot. Like finally the weather cooled off here quite a bit, and this is my happy place as far as weather goes. So I am looking forward to tomorrow for my birthday, which will be yesterday for you guys by the time this goes up. I'm also really looking forward to kicking off my day with a live stream with you guys, which hello past Katie / future Katie. I hope that it was fun and it went well and you didn't make a total fool of yourself. So I rarely get the chance to go live. It's really difficult for me to make it happen, and I was actually in a live. Like I go into people's lives and hang out in people's lives quite often, because it feels like I'm getting to hang out with friends and stuff like that. But I was in Christiane's live, and she had Anthony from Single and Placing on as a guest, and she mentioned in there something about how like, because they're talking about like being in other people's live streams as guests and stuff like that. And she's like, yeah, I asked Katie if she'd go live with me. She's like, it was a few months back at this point that I asked her. And then she's like, and then when I went over and visited, I realized like, oh my gosh, like this is why it's so hard for her to ever go live. And it felt like, actually, I didn't even say as much to Christiane after, but I was like, that felt really validating, because I regularly worry that people think that I'm like deliberately like avoiding them, or like if I don't respond to messages, or if I don't like say like, yes, I can do like a live or anything at all. Like it's nice to know that someone that came and saw like a lot of the craziness that is my life, like, she saw my kids running around and just all the different like things that I'm juggling and trying to do and all of that. It just felt really validating, and I felt really, really seen when she said that. And it also like brought me some relief to be like, because that's kind of been in the back of my head where I've been like, yeah, I told Christiane that I would try to go live as a guest on her channel with her at some point, but it is just so difficult to make it happen. And like even this, it's like going live on my birthday, it's working out because like my mom is in town, and Adam has very much been like, we'll do whatever you want on your birthday. And I was like, well, one of the things I'd love to do is go live on my channel, because I love going live and I rarely, really practically speaking, can do it. Of course, if I told Adam, who's my husband, if I told him like, I want to make a priority of going live more often, or if I brought it up or something like that, he'd totally be on board. He'd be supportive. But like, I try to really protect our weekends as like, that's family time for us. Like I really enjoy like having Adam and the kids and I together. We're spending a lot of time with his family now that they live in this state. And like, we're still trying to fit in like spending time with friends and stuff like that. So it just, it kind of adds up a little bit. And so unfortunately, me going live and like being able to plan out far enough in advance and like really block out that time, which affects like my family and our plans, that just has been really difficult to make happen. It's definitely more the exception than the rule. So I'm glad that I'm going to be able to do that tomorrow, and I hope that it's a lot of fun. I always enjoy going to other people's birthday lives because I feel like it's just such a fun atmosphere and vibe, and I like that people do it. I like that that's like kind of become a thing in the community. So yay for that. Let me tell you a little bit about this kit. So I'm trying to keep like a really flexible and open mind about it, but I keep getting a little bit frustrated because I look at this kit, I look at the amount of color blocking in it. Like the sheer amount of 310 in this kit is absurd. Like 75% of this kit is the black background color. I feel like I should be flying through this kit, but I'm not. And I am fully, honestly, I'm blaming the glue on it. And I'll share some like really respectful, kind, constructive feedback with the company because they are new. I don't think that this is a deal breaker because it's slowing me down, but it's not necessarily, I don't think, going to be like highly problematic. I think it's going to be inconvenient. The glue is super slippery, and it's not super sticky. I just so happened to be starting this kit and working on it when Jade was over, which I'll tell you more about that later. But Jade came over and she brought a kit to work on, and we were diamond painting together for a while, and I was just starting this kit. And I was just like, as I'm working on it, and I'm like, I cannot get these diamonds to come off of, like when I would try to multi-place, it was like half the diamonds would stick in the putty, like stay in the multi-placer and not come off on the canvas. And I was like, what is going on? Like, it's like this glue isn't sticky. And she, because she owns a diamond painting business herself, and I think has, tested out a lot of products and just has a lot of that like know-how, she kind of looked at the canvas, kind of looked at it at a couple of different angles, and she's like, yeah, it looks like they only put one layer of glue on there. And so I was like, oh, really? I was like, how could you tell? She's like, you just kind of get a feel for it. And I was like, oh my gosh, is that why when you end up working on a canvas that ends up being like really slippery or whatever, like I didn't even know that was a thing, like doing multiple layers of glue. So interesting little factoid, but that was just our like chatter and her casual. That was like casual conversation, not like here's some professional like opinion and advice or whatever. But yeah, I just was like, well, I guess I'm gonna be sealing this painting because sometimes when I like tested out running my hand over it, and it did pick up a couple of these drills. So, and you could visibly see like the bottom part of the canvas, like the bottom like 3 inches of the canvas, the glue was thicker and sticky, but then you could see the texture of it change. And like this area that I'm in right now, it's like barely sticky. I'm not going to touch it any more than that because I'm like, I don't need to make this any less sticky than it already is. So we'll see what happens when I get to like color blocking through that that 310 background. Hopefully it won't take me that long to get to it. But so I'm trying to like not press down too hard when I pick up the diamonds so that they don't stick to the putty as strongly. But the colors are really pretty. I can't really tell you a whole lot about the rendering just yet because I haven't gotten far enough into this to be able to do so. But man, yeah, and the shininess of this glue and like the texture of it, I'm like watching my camera out of the corner of my eye just like struggle so hard to focus. So I hope that this is an instance where you're mostly listening and less watching, and I'm so sorry if you are watching and you're feeling really frustrated because I am a little bit at a loss for like the best way to fix this, especially given like I don't have like oodles of time to film tonight. I'm going to try to get a video up tomorrow, which unfortunately is still not going to be the drills and chills video. So I posted an update in the Facebook group for the event, and I maybe should have posted an update on my community tab as well. Maybe I'll do that this evening or tomorrow, but technology has been really not my friend for putting together this drills and chills finale video. There's a couple of like struggle points for me. One is that what I am using, like what was supposed to be the most time efficient and simple way to do the slideshow, like the gallery of finishes, parade of finishes, whatever you'd like to call it. It's just given me a lot of hiccups this year. And the reason that I really wanted to do this is because I didn't find a better option that was going to like avoid the gallery of finishes being like an hour long. Like it's just the native slideshow app in the Photos app or the native slideshow feature in the Photos app on the iPhone or MacBook. But it keeps kind of glitching. And so I'm having to do it like small amounts at a time. And with over 770 entries, that's just meaning that portion of it is taking a while. Also, like verifying winners, like the entries and the winners, is a little bit time consuming with that many entries as well. I'm not verifying every single entry, but like for the winners, I want to go back and make sure that they posted their start photo and that everything is like above board. And let me tell you what, our start photo thread on Facebook has like thousands of comments on it. I think like it has a ton. And sometimes like I have to do it for my computer where I load the comments, because if I try to load the comments on my phone, once you get to like a few hundred in, it just stops. Like it just lags. It doesn't really work. And so there just have been some hiccups in there. That on top of like my mom is in town, like lots going on with my kids, and just I've had so much time sensitive content that had to go up this past week that unfortunately drills and chills, as much as I did consider that otherwise time sensitive content, there's other stuff that really I wanted / needed to go up, and so I let drills and chills, like I just had to take that off my plate a little bit. And I do apologize for that delay. I think just about everyone has been very understanding. I haven't gotten any like angry messages, just people that have very politely and casually checked in to be like, so, is there an update? When will the winners be announced? And yeah, I knew I made a mistake in the week 8 video, and I was like, hey, the grand finale video is going to be up on November 4th or whatever. I should never lock myself in like that. But it'll get there. Lindsay, I know, has been dealing with a lot as well and trying to get her stuff taken care of. So, yeah, thanks for bearing with us both. I promise we are doing our best, and we did not set out to frustrate anyone. But yeah, so speaking of grace, thank you guys for your grace and kindness after my rant last week. I felt like I was very level and very kind and respectful about it, but I was still really anxious that I certainly thought that I was going to ruffle some feathers. And I thought that I might get some angry reactions. And I did manage to spook some people, which I felt really bad about. And I tried to respond quickly in comments and DMs that I received where people thought like, oh no, were you talking about me? And it was like, no, it's context. It's based on context. Frankly, if you're worried that I'm talking about you, I wasn't talking about you. Like, it's always the like really over like people that are hypersensitive to that kind of thing that it like was basically never an issue. But I did feel bad. I was like, oh, I didn't mean to spook you. But I'm also that person. I'm that person that like I look for myself to be the person that is problematic. Oops. But it comes from being a rule follower and having like anxiety in general. So anyway, but yeah, so thanks for letting me get on that soapbox. Don't worry, I'm not going to go down that road again right now. Other things that are going on. So, my mom is doing well. After kind of sharing about kind of what was going on with her last week, with like her heart issue scare. She's still out here. She's here for like another week, and she's doing well. The kids are stoked to have her here. It's actually really sweet. My youngest is incredibly affectionate with her right now, where last time she was visiting, he was a little bit more like I don't know, like he was super ultra clingy mama's boy last time, and this time he's like all about like grandma cuddles and kisses for grandma like at bedtime, which just, of course, like as a grandma, that completely melts her heart, and she loves it. But yeah, no, she she is doing well. Like, she's continued to be good as far as like her heart goes and stuff. So that's all good. She did manage to mess up her back. We were working really, really hard to get, we got like my oldest's whole closet and room. Like, we did a really thorough cleaning and organizing in there, which was something that honestly has been hanging over my head for a while. And we got to it. And it was more me than her, actually. Like, I kind of decided, I was like, I have the energy for this today. And if you struggle with like chronic illness or I don't know if like depression and anxiety fall under the umbrella of chronic illness. I think they do. But if you struggle with a chronic illness or have like some like if you're neurodivergent or something like that, I mean, I'm not sure. I'm guessing you've probably heard about spoon theory and the idea that like your body like basically only has like so many spoons to get through a day. And it's like, okay, let's say I start out the day with 10 spoons and getting dressed takes 1 spoon and unloading the dishwasher takes 5 spoons and this other thing takes this many spoons. It's just the idea that it's like things take a certain amount of energy for you, and so you have to ration out that energy, and you can't always get everything done in a day. And some things that might take, maybe making a phone call would only take like 1 spoon of mental energy for you, but it's so stressful and anxiety inducing for me that for me it would take like 3 spoons. You guys, this isn't scientific. This is just like, this is a way to represent and like just be a way to sort of explain the idea of like chronic fatigue and that sort of thing, and like how people have to approach being able to get things done when they're dealing with this sort of thing. Anyway, I struggle with depression and anxiety. I am pretty confident that I have that I am an undiagnosed, or rather a self-diagnosed autistic, which self-diagnosis is a pretty widely accepted means of diagnosis, especially for like adults in the autistic community. I've sort of casually sought out like a doctor that specializes in being able to diagnose adults, but kind of hard to come by, actually. But anyway, that just for me means that a lot of these things that should be easier that I should be able to like eventually get to, I can't. I don't. Not for lack of trying or trying to strategize or anything like that, but it takes a lot. And some days I wake up and I've got that energy and I've got that drive to like get stuff done, and I happen to have it. And so I tackled going through, like, I went through Connor's super scary and overstuffed closet. We took 2 trunk loads in my mini SUV, 2 trunk loads full of donations to our Savers, which is kind of like Goodwill, except with less like profit and more non-profit, more like donating to like charities and stuff like that. We threw out a bunch of stuff too, and I just felt really good for getting that done. There are a couple other big things that are hanging over my head, like the garage and whatnot, but I felt just a huge sense of accomplishment that I'm embracing after being able to take care of Connor's room and closet. So I still, like, we have a few totes of baby clothes and baby gear that I need to like really like just pick a time and day to like get rid of that stuff. I need to have like a good whine and cry first though. I don't really drink, mostly because it triggers my migraines, but like that's how I jokingly refer to it, is like I need to like drink a glass of wine and go through the baby clothes one last time before I get in and look at the gear and have my like moment of like grieving that stage of life is over. Like, I'm completely positive that we are done, but like having kids, that is, like, there's a million different reasons why we are done. Like, done. But you guys, transitions are super freaking hard. Oh, there it is. Look, you can see. Try to lay those down, and okay, those stuck. the putty instead. Yep, there we go again. So this is why this is taking me longer than it should, is because multi-placing, it's like I can't just go on autopilot with it. It's like I have to make sure, okay, pick up the drills real lightly. Please let it stick. Oh, that one didn't stick. Let's push it down again. Sometimes it doesn't want to stick and I have to do like a whole thing. It's just, Jade also looked at these drills and was like, yeah, those are acrylic rounds. I was like, yeah, they're kind of a pain to work with, actually. But, oh, did I just pick up one? No, okay. I'll seal this painting when it's done. Anyway, but no, I was just saying, like, transitions are hard. Like, the fact that I'm, like, firmly moving out of that stage of life in a really tangible way by getting rid of that stuff, like, that's just going to be emotional. And, like, that can't, for me, it doesn't feel like it can be, like, a casual throwaway. Like, I can't just dump all this stuff in the car and then it's gone. I feel like it has to, like, be a moment just for me to be able to process that. Because I think there would always be a part of me, like, no matter how many kids I had, there would always be a part of me that's like, oh, but what about, like, one more time with that, like, tiny baby stage? But then I remember, like, my postpartum depression and anxiety and the, like, sleepless nights, which, hey, if you happen to be, like, a mom of a new little one, heck, if you're a mom of an older little one and you're losing sleep, I just want you to know that you're killing it. Whatever you're doing, you are doing a wonderful job. You are not a bad mom. And someday you will sleep again. Someday you will sleep again. I know. And it's so hard. Like, there's so many amazing things about the newborn stage and, like, that baby stage. And I look back at, like, baby pictures of my kids and go, oh my gosh, but they were so cute. And am I really, like, never going to get to have that again? But I think I always will have that. No matter how many kids I have, like, I'm always going to be like, but I don't want it to be the end. But again, if we had 3 kids, a lot would have to change. We'd have to get a new car. Gosh, I feel like we already don't have enough space. Imagining adding a baby, like a third child, to our Southern California small living space just sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. And also, I have two autistic boys, like 2 kiddos with special needs, that they take a lot of my time and energy. And I don't say that as a complaint. I say that as I would almost feel, I don't know, I would be very worried. I'd be very worried that I wouldn't be able to give as much to another kiddo or to them as they would deserve. Like, if we added another into the mix, we would make it work if there were, like, a surprise or an accident. But that is not in the plan. That is actively being prevented, really. But yeah, so anyway, all this to say that, like, I still really desperately want to go through this stuff and get rid of it because I want that space back. The amount of space it's taking up is starting to, like, stress me out more than the idea of, like, getting rid of that stuff. So I just need to, come off the pen. Okay. But yeah, so that's on the agenda. But anyway, I was just mentioning that, like, while I was going super hard and my mom was helping me on getting Connor's room, like, going through all of the piles and the stuff in the closet, she was just doing, like, a lot of lifting and stuff, and she's like messed up her back before. She's afraid she's gonna actually need surgery, but she just, now it's really prone to being like pulled or messed up again, and she has this like this little pack that she brings with her. It's called a TENS unit, and she, like, attaches it to her back, and it, like, does this, like, electric impulse thing to, like, relax the muscles and stuff. It's just, yeah, it's a whole thing. So she was doing that, and so I just felt real bad. I was like, you're not allowed to do anything anymore because I don't want you to be hurt while you're out here, because she's having to take it real easy now, and I'm like, I'm sorry. So we'll see if we get to any other, like, major projects, but I feel good to have that done. Part of the other reason I think I've been able to get stuff done is because the weather really cooled off here. Somehow this year it seems like we dodged the like summer's last gasp that we usually have, because I don't know, it seems like every year at the very end of October, and often right around my birthday, we have, like, a week of 100 degree weather, 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's like that's just summer's last gasp. Where it's really, really stinking hot. And it seems like we skipped that this year. And that it just has kind of transitioned into fall. Which for here means like highs of like 70 degrees Fahrenheit, which is just gorgeous and glorious. And it makes my heart so happy. And I feel more energized and productive in this kind of weather. And so I'm trying to take advantage. And while I feel up to it, on the days that I feel up to it, to get some stuff done. So definitely taking advantage of having my mom here, having that extra set of hands, hopefully without injuring her next time. Yeah, so we'll see. I must have gotten to a stickier bit of glue because I've had a few lay down here without having to pop back up. Okay. Other stuff that's going on. So we took the kids to the pumpkin patch last weekend. I think that I filmed the night before we took them. We took them to the pumpkin patch, and that was lots of fun. Though it's whenever we take Micah anywhere, he's a little bit, I don't know, like he gets bored easily when we go out and about, even when there's lots of stuff to do, and he can be kind of stubborn and have really specific ideas of what he wants to do, which we're trying to kind of coax him through and work through and stuff. But the kids had a really fun time for our annual pumpkin patch trip to the same place we always go. Connor is just obsessed with this one because they have a train, so we rode the train, and he watches a lot of YouTube videos of like railroad crossings, or sometimes they're called level crossings, and I'm like, buddy, I don't know what the difference is between a railroad crossing and a level crossing. I should Google it so that I can be on the same page as him. But he's so cute. I was talking with my mom about how I'm so glad that it feels like for our generation with our kids that there's no longer, it doesn't feel like there's this default that like all kids are going to go to like a traditional 4-year college. It feels like now it's like trade schools are a lot more just generally like accepted as a legitimate route to go, and a lot of times can be like a much better fit for kids and stuff like that. Because I'm like looking at my kiddos and kind of just always thinking about, I wonder where their strengths will take them. And I look at, especially, you know, with both of them having special needs and stuff, it's like, I don't know that a traditional route's going to be for them. Maybe it will be. Like, maybe Connor should totally, like, go into engineering or something, and he'll have, like, his doctorate and change the world from, like, that kind of perspective. Or maybe he should go to trade school and, like, own his own, like, auto shop. Like, I don't know. But whatever it is, I'm so glad, like I said, that it feels like, you know, when I was growing up, it was like the expectation. It was the default that you were going to go to a 4-year college. And if you didn't, that was like disappointing. And I mean, my mom and I have talked about that, and she feels bad. She's like, you know, she's like, I totally see that, like, that's not necessarily the way it should be. And I don't necessarily fault her because, you know, that's how her generation was raised. And that's just kind of the attitude that everyone had, was that, like, you want to, you know, be set up for success in life or whatever, you go get your bachelor's, and then you'll be able to get any, you know, a job in your field. My generation quickly discovered that was just not the case. Even in a field that should have been more reliable, like teaching. No, that didn't really totally happen that way. So anyway, I just have a lot more open mind about my kiddos, and I just try to pay attention to, like, where do their gifts seem to lie, and who knows what's going to, like, sort of even be available to them by the time they're graduating high school, as far as, like, what are going to be some of the different, like, schooling options and stuff like that. But I don't know. That was a really random tangent that I didn't totally mean to go off on, but here we are. That's what happens in WIP and Chats, you guys. What was I going to say? I was going to talk a little bit about, like, videos and stuff this past week. So Jade from Jaded Gem Shop, she came over. Actually, the main reason she came over was because my set of princesses came in with her, which I had, like I mentioned in an earlier WIP and Chat here, I ordered the full set of princesses from this artist. I'm a real sucker for fan art, and I'm so glad that there are, like, above board ways that fan art can be licensed like this. And so when they came in, I was like, well, hey, Jade, I'm going to be stuck at home tomorrow because my car is going to be in the shop. Let me know if you want to come over and diamond paint. And just so happened to bring those kits. And she did. And brought those kits. And that night I was just so excited to get into them. I couldn't wait. I stayed up past my bedtime to film and put together that unboxing. It was so much fun. So much fun. It's actually having me a little bit reevaluate the kit I might want to work on for my 100th kit. I'm actually thinking that I might work on one of those kits instead. In part because I'm revisiting the idea of doing one of those large Mandy Manzano panels, the ones that I know, my poor Patreon that I had you guys vote on, that I might be going back on, because I have some commitments right now, or some things that are really important that I want to do to work on some kits from small shops. And if I want that Mandy Manzano, one of those Mandy Manzano panels that's huge and squares and like the old Diamond Art Club squares, if I wanted one of those to be my 100th finish, then like that's just going to take a lot of time, and I'm afraid going to take time away from my ability to like get to those kits that I really want to get to for these small shops. So we will see. I need to decide, because I'm hoping that this kit isn't going to take me that much longer to finish, but I mean, who knows? I'm kind of going to wait and see. But I'm waffling now, and I'm feeling like the pressure. I'm like, oh no, like, what should I do? What should I do? Anyway, come on. There we go. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, Jade came over, and we diamond painted together, and gosh darn it, she brought over my kits, and I put up that video, and I'm so glad you guys seem to enjoy it too. I love seeing those like large diamond painting haul unboxings and stuff like that, like where it's just like, here's a bunch of kits. And I realized I was like, this is the largest order I've ever placed at once before. But I'm really not mad. It made me so happy. And now I want to like go shop a little bit and pick out a portfolio to put all those in. And I keep hoping that like maybe that artist will create more in the series. Someone had a really fun suggestion on that video and said like, oh, how fun would it be like if there was like a sidekicks, or I think they said familiars. And I was like, oh yeah, like a familiars or sidekicks series of like their companions, their animal companions. But Jade was also, she had listed a couple of pieces that I just happened to see when I was browsing her website, of some customs that people had ordered where they had gotten direct like artist permission to have customs done of these particular pieces, and someone had a couple of supernatural fan art pieces, and I was like, ooh, that's a really great idea. Like, I would love to do a supernatural fan art piece. So I'm probably gonna go browse like I don't really know, I think Tumblr kind of got abandoned, like Tumblr, that website, but that was like a hub for the supernatural fandom for such a long time. I was always a lurker. I never had like a blog or anything there, but I think that like died a little bit with some of the changes they made. But yeah, I was like, that would be a really fun way to go, to do a custom of fan art that like I had the written permission of the artist to do. That was the thing that for some people that participated in Drills and Chills, that's what they did, is they had the written permission of the artist, and I just had them like send it to me to like kind of verify that it was legit and stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's great. And I just suggested, I was like, maybe order it from a reputable shop that you don't think is then going to turn around and add that into sort of their library of stolen artwork to then just like produce for people. So I've never done that myself though, but I think that would be really fun. So I've been, I was gonna say, what are some other things going on this week? I've been dealing with some like car woes that are really frustrating. We've been taking our cars to the same mechanic for like 10, 12 something years. They're worth their weight in gold. Like, they're the absolute best. But I had taken my car in. It just keeps having this like recurring issue where it like thinks I'm skidding, but I'm not. And I was really hoping that it was just going to be like a matter of like replacing a sensor or something like that, and that it would be like an easy fix, and that they've tried a couple of things and nothing is working. And then there was an issue with like my check engine light came on, and they thought it was like this other thing, and they're like, well, 99% of the time just replacing the gas cap will do the fix. And then the lights came back on the next time that I got gas, and so I took it back to them, and they were like, we think you're the 1%. And so they were like, honestly, like, this really stinks, but you're probably gonna have to take it to a dealer. And I was like, no. And I literally said to them, like, can you at least recommend like a dealer that I should take it to that's not gonna like take me for a ride? Because seriously, the primary association that I have with dealerships is that they just want to get as much of your money as possible, and will just like upsell you on all the things and tell you like that all these different things need done when it doesn't really necessarily all need done. And they laughed, and they're like, yeah, no, that's pretty much in the job description. Which I know if you like work for a car dealership or something, not all, I know, hashtag not all dealerships or whatever, but like, no, that's just been my personal experience, like locally and stuff. And so they specifically told me, they're like, don't go to this one. They're a bunch of, that's a funny word that I won't repeat. They said, go to this one instead. You know, they do decent work and shouldn't, try to pull one over on you. Because I'm like, you know what happens if I take my car in to get work done? I'm like a stereotypical like white girl that doesn't know anything about cars. And so I'm like the perfect person for a dealership to take advantage of and tell me like, oh yeah, like blah, 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 this, and this. And so I'm like, I just want to minimize my chances of being like lied to and taken advantage of. So I'll probably send Adam in to actually like drop off my car. Maybe I'll have him like make the call and stuff, because I feel like sometimes they treat men differently than women. Maybe I'm just really skeptical, but I'm just like, why my trustworthy mechanic? This is like the first time you haven't been able to fix a problem for me, and I'm like absolutely dreading having to take it to a dealership, because I'm afraid this is going to be a really freaking expensive repair, and I don't want to spend a bunch of money on a car repair right now. I'm like, can I just throw the whole car out and get a new one? No. I mean, it's a used car. That's kind of the route that we go to try to be more like money conscious, is we buy used, and we do all the research, and like, yeah, I'm one of those people. Do all the research and like Consumer Reports and all that to like try to pick out like a really reliable used car and stuff like that. And I even said to my mechanic, I was like, what the heck? This is not what Consumer Reports told me to expect from this 2005 Toyota RAV4. And he was like, yeah, I know. Like, Toyota's usually a pretty reliable way to go, and they use older RAV4s too. It's like, but it's like, you are getting up there in miles, and used cars, you're just going to run into some stuff. I'm like, yeah, you're right. But still, gosh darn it. I hate car stuff. I hate car repairs so much. Anyway, that was a totally... You guys don't care about hearing about car repairs. Ooh, look, not sticky glue. Come on. There we go. So, anyway, this week, I am anxious, nervous, excited, because Adam and I are doing a totally whirlwind trip to Florida, because there is a film premiere for a film that he wrote on, and I'm sure I've mentioned it here. I'm pretty sure. But that premiere is happening on Thursday night? Why Thursday night? Why Thursday night instead of Friday? I'm not sure what the like release is going to be. Like, I'm sure it's not getting a wide release. I'm not even sure like who the distributor is, but this is going to be really fun, because this is going to be like the first like major for us, major for Adam sort of event for this kind of thing. Like, they're paying to fly us both out. I got a dress in from Tora that I got to try on and see if it's going to work. All right, that's not going to come off. Putty or stick on that glue. And Adam's got to figure out which of like his dressy options he's going to wear, like a suit or whatever. And it's gonna be such a whirlwind trip. We fly out on Wednesday, and the premiere is on Thursday, and then we fly back really freaking early Friday morning. Like, that's gonna be painful. Oh my gosh. So that's I'm dreading that a little bit, but it's hopefully going to be a lot of fun. We're leaving the kids here with my mom, and yeah, I think that's going to be really awesome. I hope that all goes smoothly with like the flights and everything along the way. Stick to the glue, please. Stick to the glue. I'm literally pressing these down with my fingers to make sure that they're like sticking to the glue as much as possible. I'm not exaggerating this, you guys. Oh my goodness. So that's going on this week. I'm gonna try to film ahead a bit. I know, like, you guys are gonna tell me don't worry about it, but I do not want to fall behind on content. I felt so bad. I sent a message over to Diamond Art Club and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot that I have this trip. I was like, is there any way I can pay to upgrade the shipping on my sneak peek for next week? And they're like, oh, it looks like it should come in on time, and if it's not, it's okay. It's like, I'm so sorry. It's like, if nothing else, I'll be back on Friday. Like, I'll film as soon as I get home and put it up for you guys. Like, even if it's a little later in the day on Friday. I'm like, it's fine. It's like, I'm so sorry. I'm the worst. I'm the least reliable person ever. Okay, we finished that section. That could have been worse. Okay, let me move this over and because I want to talk just a little bit more and we'll work a little bit on this section, but, so yeah, stay tuned for updates on how that Florida trip went if I don't just like sleep that whole weekend. We're supposed to like hopefully be able to then go see, the new Marvel movie, Wakanda Forever, that weekend, but I was like, it's going to depend on how the kids do. The kids had their annual checkups this past week. That was fun. They both had shots, and that is just, oh man, there were tears from everyone involved. Everyone was crying. I was crying. Kids were crying. My mom was crying. Thankfully, yeah, my mom was in town, so she got to come and like be an extra set of hands for me because Adam had to go into the office that day and wasn't going to be able to come with me. I was like, well, Mom, come be my emotional support mother while I have to go through these appointments with these kids, especially because Micah still has such like horrible associations with like doctors' offices in general because he's had so many different medical issues as a kid. That just like he knows as soon as we go into a doctor's office, he knows what's up, he knows what's going on, and he is not happy about it. Like, they ask him to step on the scale and he loses his mind. I'm like, dude, they're not touching you. Come step on the scale. Like, come on, this is a little deal. There's a lot of that. Like, is this a little deal or a big deal? And so forget it when the doctor needed to like, let's look in your ears, let's look in your mouth, let's give you a shot. But no, we survived. Somehow we survived. But yeah, I'm hoping that the kids aren't going to be too much of a handful for my mom. I mean, she's in good shape and all that, but my kids are they're something else sometimes. I'll be like, Mom, just shamelessly use the screen time. I promise. It is okay. It is okay. Just, here's their remote, here's their tablets, we'll be gone for 3 days. Not even 3 full days. Because we leave super early on Friday and we have the time change in our favor, we will be back like by lunchtime on Friday. So, it's gonna be fine. Yeah, so anyway, I guess I'll go ahead and wrap this up because I feel like I'm a little bit out of stuff to talk about. Talking about a whole lot of random stuff at this point, and I don't think you guys care that much. So, I am, just gonna try to plug away, see how much of this I can get done. I filmed an unboxing before I started this WIP and Chat. Filmed an unboxing of my mystery kit from Craftably. Not mystery kit, mystery box, which was fun to get into that. It was my first mystery box from them. And I hope you guys enjoy it too. I probably am going to give away or destash most of those kits. because most were not totally, well, 2 of them were not totally my taste. They're kind of snack size. And I was kind of thinking about, it's like, these would probably be good like giveaway kits. Yeah, maybe I'll give those ones away. And then there were a bunch of like accessories type stuff, which was fun, but I don't know that I necessarily like need to add them to my accessories stash. So I might just have to find some fun like giveaway type stuff to do to share the love of those and pass them on. So we'll see. You'll just have to stay tuned for stuff like that. But I love mystery boxes, and I really did want to support Craftably, because I think that they're a really fantastic company. I need to work on one of my kits from them. I'm afraid it's going to be next year at this point, but I do really want to work on one of my kits from them and show them some love too, because I think that they have a lot to offer and have really good like customer service, and they're trying to like put out like a really good product and stuff like that. So we'll see what we can do with that. But yeah, you guys, let me know how you're doing and what you were up to while we were chatting today. If you made it all the way to the end, how about a dragon emoji or the Scorpio emoji, because this is the Scorpio dragon. So one of those emojis, just let me know you made it to the end. If you're not already subscribed and you made it all the way to the end, you'll probably like it here. So feel free to hit that subscribe button just down under this video on the right. And there's a bell there. You can hit to be notified when I share new videos too. I try to do these WIP and Chats weekly, where I just catch up with you about what I've been up to and what's coming up in life and crafting and content creating and all those fun things. And yeah, I'd be more than happy to welcome you to, my little corner of YouTube, as hot mess as it can get sometimes. So I hope you guys have a really wonderful start to your week. Thank you so much for starting your week off with me and just for being here in general. I really appreciate you guys a lot. So have a wonderful start to your week again, and I'll chat with you in the next one. Bye.